Hello everyone, Angelina over here, and today we are going to go through the last Epoch patch notes and some other data that I find quite interesting. For now, there have been a lot of reveals and we have talked about a lot of the changes, but now we see them in writing. They also did a preview of the patch. It's 20 minutes. You should make it to that video. It's very interesting, has a lot of things, and the most pumped thing I'm about, as you might expect, is the dungeon changes. Being able to get directly to the boss, slam it, and get your 100%, at least one slam is going to hit. That is going to help me a lot, and of course, give me super interesting power on the uniques that I'm interested about. Now, as for the new uniques and things like that, there is nothing crazy that I'm interested. There is one champion mod that gives us +1 shadows that is cool for Lethal Mirage and for other places. So I expect that one to be kind of interesting. Now I have done some reading in before, but now let's go through them and I'm going to get, of course, my opinion in the things that I find interesting. Now, loot and enemy rarity balance was nothing crazy, as you also know. Most of the time we will just running around and killing the enemies. Now they will do more drops on magic and rare enemies, and regular monsters are more of a fodder type, so they will drop less things. Now items for large explosions are going to get in extra gold, and you can get some cool piles of gold that you will just run around through them. This was a weird bug. I never encountered this, but it seems that it's going to be there. Now enemies will have more health, and exiled mage will have more health, and then get a little bit less as it goes down. Rune prisons are going to spawn less frequently, and loot lizards will also spawn less frequently, because this also comes when they are going to put, of course, the new woven echoes that are very well explained in the video that they did for their reveal. But loot lizards now will have 45 seconds to flee. I never experienced loot lizards actually, because I stopped playing when the 1.1 things happened. And I kind of finished my build because I couldn't get any more upgrades to do cool things. And loot lizards, I've been told that they are kind of cool, so that is a nice thing to look forward. Magic enemies will just have more health and do everything cool. Rare enemies, same thing. There will also be champion enemies. Remember, they will have like extra mods. If you have played Path of Exile, like when Arch Nemesis first began, they got some extra cool mods. So I expect the same thing from here. They are buffing health and nerfing ward. Same thing from here. They are buffing health and nerfing ward. You also can get some critical strike avoidance thingies. And now the blessing for dodge rating has been buffed. I don't think I'm going to use it anyway, because it coincides with a blessing that gives actual damage or resistances. More health on things. Endurance threshold can now only roll on belts, but it will be more powerful. More health regen can roll on gloves. They have also added the health and health regen things hybrid mod on other places. Ward has been, of course, nerfed. Now, shared lightning penetration. This was something very weird that was not on daggers for some reason. This is going to buff our Fulguri chart build. Quick penetration, blah blah blah. Quick penetration, same thing. Volatile zombies. Now it's bees. Bees. Now stout idols are the 2 by 1 idols, can't roll added health, but of course it's going to be better for other things. And now they get elemental resistance. Enemy adjustments, I don't really remember the which enemies are which, but basically they are doing things to make enemies less annoying. Void Worm. Yeah, I don't really know which ones these are. Now, there are, of course, new enemies from the Woven Echoes and now on the other places. Boss ward has been kind of changed. They will just have more health and the ward decay is going to be way higher. This means that if your build doesn't have a lot of damage, you will not be punished as much, because basically what happened is when you hit the ward, it decayed very slowly, so you were not even doing damage to the real boss health. And now they will only have the chapter bosses ward in the campaign. Mini bosses that didn't have the boss ward thingy, they will have less health. Now player will take 15% less damage over time if you ever did corruption around 600 or more. When you get a bleed or a poison or anything like that, you were gunning for your life using potions, or if you had ward, you didn't have that problem because you had like 4 times as much things. And now the damage bonus from enemies, it's only half as effective for damage over time. Now, unique item changes. This is some cool uniques that they are changing. Nothing changes for the ones that we use apart from the Eye of Rin. Maybe if you are using one Fulgurate and one Eye of Rin, or if you are going for the for the Eye of Rin and then dagger to get super critical multiplier, or maybe go for even 2 Eyes of Rin. I don't really recommend it, but you have that. We don't use any of these, of course, but now there is some hope on the ones that we don't know anything about things. Some set items changes. I actually don't know any of these. I will check because Rogue has a cool item set that we may get some power that has some extra stats. And then faction waypoints. This is whatever. Cycle of Fortune. I don't really play with that. Merchants Guild. They are adding kind of a tax on listing, and it's paid by the buyer. So it's not like in other games when you actually get the tax from the person listing. Like if you list a 1 million item, you would need to get like the tax with like 150,000 or something like that. That is not what happens here. You list an item, for example, 1 million gold, and the purchasing player will pay 1,100,050 instead of that. Now, of course, after the gold cap is enforced. So if you list an item for 1.5 billion, that is the cap right now, the purchased price will be the intended 1.725 instead of the 1.9 that we have now. They are disabled the direct peer-to-peer trade. And of course, this doesn't affect the people that are in the party, as you can use the resonance to gift the items themselves. That was here. Now you can mastery respec. That means that if you are a blade dancer, now you can go to marksman or falconer if you really want to do it. This is very cool for people that want to use delve into more of the one thing, and then you don't have to level a whole character. This is very cool. Of course, as you might know, as you level up, you will get a higher cost. I think most people that want to reroll and will go from 60 to 90. It's mostly when you will maybe want to reroll. Like even if you reroll at 90, 600,000 gold is nothing crazy. You can get that very easily. And this is something that a lot of people like. I don't really enjoy it, but you will be able to WASD move, and also some control settings things that they are changing. And for the inventory things, you will get keys on their own inventory, woven echoes on their own inventory. There are new items. And now all of the forge rune thingies, by default, you can disable it if you really want, is going directly to the forge. Now you also have a stash tab affinities, and also on sorting and auto storing. You will be able to check if you really want to store them or not. We have more pickup radius. 40% is a lot. And now if you want to pick an item, you will go run there and pick it and then stop moving. Before you were moving until you got to that item. Comparison, I don't really care that much about this. There is an event to kill Uber Aberroth for the hardcore. If you didn't know, there's something the first Aberroth and Uber Aberroth kill. This is of course seasonal announcements with softcore and hardcore. They are doing a lot of loot filter changes, but I don't really do my loot filter. I just get it from someone's. But basically, you will be able to customize a lot of things from Weaver's Will, from legendary potential. This is going to be very good, so you can, even if there is a new woven echo to slam the ones that have one legendary potential, some uniques are just kind of worthless unless they are 3 or 4, so you can just hide those. And now we have new cool things in the character stats panel, and bug reporter, and lot of good things on the game guide. Remember, this has an extensive in-game game guide, so you don't really need to go to third-party places. Of course, sometimes you will need to do it, but not as much as in other games. And then this is just general UI things. Now you can double click to log in when you are trying to get something for the Soul Gambler and you have a full inventory. Instead of just doing nothing, it will tell you that you have a full inventory. You can make it so you don't consume potions when the belt is full, and other cool things. This is kind of all the fall overview for that. And now there is one last thing that I wanted to talk. Last Epoch tools has been updated to 1.2. They're going to likely add the other new unique items and the affixes. I don't think these are all the affixes that are available, but they might be actually. This is the affix that I kind of want to have. The maximum shadows and dodge rating on gloves. Merge champions in that case. But for all the other things, if they are all of them, we only really care about this one. And for the Weaver idol affixes, there are a lot of cool ones. We will really see. I saw one with crit and critical multiplier, or just damage or melee damage. Those are going to be ones that we use. And that is everything for now. Of course, there may be even more information. Maybe they reveal some other uniques, and there's a cool one. Right now, my idea is to maybe redo the Fulgurate charts and the Black Blade of Chaos builds, kind of update them on last epoch tools. I haven't done a guide in a while. I have seen when I last posted the video. Well, we will get the new ones. Likely update those two. Maybe do a cool new one depending on how things go. There's also Path of Exile 2 that I will be playing. We are going to kind of mesh mishmash the two of them. And the new WoW patch is going to take a huge well, so we will have those two games going in tandem. Have a nice day, and I will see you on the next video.